You know, in this book, I say kids are unionized. And I mean it. They know all your soft spots, mommies, because they spend so much time with them. And now you let them know that you didn't appreciate being called names and being told you were hated.
You've let this go for 24 hours, Dr.
Oh,
Leman?
no.
This is when you get home, when you first get home.
From when he said, I hate you?
Oh, yeah.
In the car.
Oh, it's in the car on the way home.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this happens probably, this whole scenario probably only took 5 minutes after he came home for this to get to this teachable moment. But now you level them. And once you level them, you know, and again, you push for, you don't have kids yet. Yeah, do you know what pushing means when you have a baby? See, the baby goes through what they call the birth canal. Now, the birth canal is smaller. I don't know much about birth canals, but I know they're smaller than babies are. But anyway, 9.5 hours, they push, bring this little guy to life. And in 4 years, he's telling you he hates you? Now, who's in authority over whom here? So once you level that kid, he breaks down. Now he goes, you know, he gives you his best shot. And now you can love on him. You can reassure him you love him. You can tell him you forgive him. I mean, they are your flesh and blood. But watch. What does that 4-year-old say after he gets his little act together and he stops crying?
Now can I have a cookie?
Can I have my cookies now? See, you're ready for children.
But what do you
and
say
the answer,
to him?
and the answer is no.
This is shocking to me. That shocked me. You say actually no. So he said I'm sorry, and then you actually say, then you still say, I'm sorry, no, you don't get those cookies.
I call it vitamin N. Every kid needs vitamin N, which is no. And kids today don't get enough vitamin N. And so this is part of being in healthy authority over a child. So on the Monday, we drift to Tuesday, I talk about the ABCs, you know, the attitude, the behavior, the character, and all that. But I also get to the authoritarian parent versus the permissive parent. And I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in an authoritarian home, Irish Catholic dad, 8th grade educated man. His real skill in life was yelling, screaming. And I remember as a kid growing up across the river in Buffalo, New York, and he'd say, "You want me to get the shillelagh?" And I remember as a young kid going, "No, not the shillelagh. I'll do whatever you want me to do.
What's the shillelagh?
Yeah.
Well, God is my judge. I didn't know what a shillelagh was. I never saw a shillelagh. I was a sophomore in college before I found out what a shillelagh was. It's a walking stick, by the way. You wouldn't want to be hit with it.
Okay.
Oh.
But today's parents, look at the contrast here. Oh, Dr. Leman, we're so glad you're here because we too want happy, happy, happy children. You know, we want kids to be happy. Oh, Brittany plays soccer, but they don't keep score. We believe every child should be a winner. I mean, ask anybody. If you're a believer, if you believe that God created and he sent his son Jesus and your life changed because of that, okay? Did you come to God through failure or did you come through God out of victory? So you come to God out of failure. You have to humble yourself. So the Christian home needs to be a place where kids learn to fail. And that's foreign to most of our ears because everybody wants their kids to be happy, happy, happy. One of the best lines written in Have a New Kid by Friday is this: an unhappy child is a healthy child. There's times your son or
You don't
daughter.
mean chronically unhappy.
Oh, no.
Depressed kid.
But just because they're unhappy, you know, big deal. They need to be unhappy if they ragged on you, or they stole something, or they picked on their little sister inappropriately or whatever.
And Dr. Leman, you talk about the permissive parent. I wonder how many parents would buy into this, would fess up that they haven't really chosen laissez-faire, just let the kid do what they want.
Right.
But they're so busy, as Melinda has alluded to.
Oh, yes.
This is work.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get engaged and involved. It takes time.
Yeah, I got 5 of them. 5 kids.
You know, that's an important point. You're not
Yeah.
just a psychologist with a lot of ideas.
And
You're a dad.
You won't find us on the social pages of the Tucson, Arizona paper. We don't belong to the country club set. We belong to our church, our small group, and our family, and that's it. You have to make those choices. But I also have 5 kids who are givers and not takers. But one of the reasons they're not takers is we haven't given them everything they ever wanted. Oh, there's my family on the screen. Look at them.
Make you homesick already.
Yeah, there they are. 4 daughters and 1 son. Yeah.
Kevin
Beautiful
Leman.
family.
Kevin Leman
Junior.
II. Yeah, we wrote some books together, actually. So anyway, this isn't rocket science, you know. And to the people on the street, I love those comments. Oh, yeah, right. But I got news for you. You should see the comments on Amazon. People write in and say what they think about the book. It's just really fun to see.
I think your message in the book is if you want to have a new kid by Friday, you've got to be a new parent by Friday. You've got to retrain yourself before you can train your child.
Let reality be the teacher, okay? And B doesn't start till A gets done. So 11-year-old's supposed to clean his room. Let me show you how this works. It's not done. You don't remind him. You don't coax him.
You don't want us to nag at all.
Not at all. Fighting, no, you don't want to go there. It gets you into too many problems. But when the room's not done at a certain time, without any warning, there's no warnings in this entire system. You hire 9-year-old sister to clean 11-year-old son's room, and you pay for it out of his allowance. Now, when he finds out his crummy sister, those are his words, not mine, was even in his room, he's not going to like it. But when he learns he lost $5 in the process, that would be, let's see, 2 toonies and 1 loony.
Very good. Yes.
He's not going to like it, but you're going to get his attention. So what's great about this book, if I may say so, I've written 34 books now, is, and this book is going to outsell any book I ever did, by far. Wow. It's amazing how this is.
Sorry, I think it's because, I mean, in this, there's so much about where you talk about kids have this entitlement issue. They feel that, you know, they deserve everything, so parents give into it. You know, parents want to be their child's friend and best friend versus being a parent.
Well, it seems like the parenting mindset has changed over the years, where
it has.
all of a sudden, I am no longer allowed to be the authority over my child. I've got to be the co-partner in
the
life
friend
with my child, and together we'll discover the pathways. And instead of being the authority, as God really set up the structure of the family.
See, here's a question. Is God an authoritarian? There's a lot of people who would tell you, oh, God's an authoritarian. No, God's not an authoritarian. He doesn't grab us by the scruff of the neck or the earlobe and twist it. But he is the supreme what? Authority. And if you read Ephesians 6, St. Paul, I never caught his last name, by the way. Does anybody know Paul's last name? He says, children, obey your parents. It's the right thing to do because God has placed them in authority over you. Now, here's the kicker. If you rear kids today to feel like they're the center of the universe, okay, and you praise them for everything, where's the room for Almighty God in a kid's life if kids see themselves as the center of the universe? And I'll tell you, we don't do it any better on the other side of the river, as I like to say, in the U.S. We're as bad as you Canadians are, or worse. We think that being the best friend to your child and giving them things, I could afford to give my kids, quote, anything they ever wanted. I take great pride in not giving them squat diddly jack. My daughter, Hannah, who's a junior in college today, she spent her Christmas vacation in Zambia in an orphanage with kids who were orphaned because their parents died of AIDS. I want a kid who's a giver, and I want a kid who's sensitive. You want a great kid by Friday, I'll tell you the truth, you could have it by Wednesday.
And you say toddlers won't share unless parents model sharing.
That's exactly it. You know, the kids are always looking up at us.
Well, this is good stuff. We are really enjoying this, Dr. Kevin Leman. When we get back, we're going to ask you a lot of questions that you really do focus on in the second half of this book. Questions that have been burning in the hearts of parents throughout the ages, and you really do give some straight between the eyes answers. In fact, you might be surprised at some of the answers he gives.